Good evening. It's all legal to viewers. Happy Sunday evening. Welcome to Sunday Sessions. That's what I am going to call this. Hello, Justin Cox. Thank you so much for supporting your mother. We have a great show for you all this evening. We are waiting for my guest this evening, Miss Kimberly K. Smith. And we are going to be talking all things legal, especially current events, bankruptcy. And we are also going to be talking, answering questions. We're going to be answering your questions live. All right, we have Miss Kimberly K. Smith. Let's get it in. Welcome, welcome. Love Orange 7. Thank you and welcome. T. Danielle Hardy, welcome. Thank you. All right, we are waiting for Miss Kimberly Smith. Welcome. Renee C. Hubble, my sister. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Thank you, thank you. And tell us where you're joining in from when you're coming on. And get ready for those, get your questions ready, because we are going to be taking those. Love Orange 7. Welcome. Hello. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hope you all are staying safe and doing well, all things considered, during this pandemic. It is crazy there. It's crazy times that we are living in. And, you know, everybody is just trying to make it day by day. But unfortunately, during this pandemic, there have been lots of legal happenings going on. You know, not all that, you know, some good, some bad. Love Orange 7. New Orleans in the house. Welcome, welcome. One of my favorite cities. Welcome, welcome. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's try this again. Waiting for Kimberly K. Smith, my guest for this evening. Pink Evie joined. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Let us know where you're joining in from. Let us know where you guys are joining in from. And welcome on this Sunday evening. I hope you guys had a great day. I know I am in Houston, Texas, and it's been a little bit stormy here this past weekend. But we are all well. We are all well. Hello, hello. All right, we're still trying to get Kim in, so give us a second. Dallas, Texas in the house. All right, you're right up I-45. Welcome, welcome. All right. We are still waiting for Miss Kimberly K. Smith. So Kim and I we're in law school together at Southern University Law Center. Shout out to Southern University Law Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We graduated in 1997. So we've been doing this for quite some time now. All right, we are still waiting for Kim to come on. Get your questions ready. We're going to be answering questions the best we can. And let me put this disclaimer out. We're not your attorneys. You know, if you have more specific questions in the state in which you live in, please consult an attorney in your state. All right. Keep saying, okay, let's see, hold on. Let's see, add. All right, here we go.
There we go.
That was me. That was operator error.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Well.
All right. You know, I'm not good at this technology, so you know, it's like, okay, what's going on?
That's all right. No, that was my error. Apparently I had to hit another button. You know, I'm still, you know, trying to figure this out as well. Welcome, Kimberly K.
Janine. Thanks for having me today.
No, thank you for joining us at It's All Legal Too. So I was just telling our viewers, we're going to wait for some more viewers to come on in, but I was just telling the ones that are on that we We're in law school together at the Southern University Law Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
SU in the house, definitely,
SU in the
definitely,
house, shout out.
definitely. 2 degrees from Southern University, bachelor's and law degree. So shout out to SU.
There you go. There you go. My niece just joined, Reagan Wilkins. She is just a recent graduate of Vanderbilt. Welcome, Reagan.
All right.
Daniel Hardy says, Kimber.
Yeah, that's my girl from home.
Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just going to wait a couple more minutes to see if we can get some more viewers in.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up, my friend? You staying safe and dry in the NO?
Staying safe, staying inside. Not quite dry because it's been raining all day due to the hurricane that kind of hit below you guys. We were getting a lot of rain today.
Yeah, same here.
So, but yes, staying safe. City's kind of in flux. We are back. We're maintaining phase 2. We recently had an issue with the bars really being closed this weekend officially. So kind of going back. Phase 2 extended, but kind of going back to phase 1 as well. Yes, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, well, that's what we need to talk about. I'm supposed to be dropping off my oldest at LSU in a few weeks, so trying to see if that's going to happen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so lots going on. So let's just delve right on into this. We're going to be talking all things legal. So let's start out. So I know July, this time of the year, is when typically different states administer their bar exams.
Yes.
And I know that due to COVID, there have been a few states that have kind of pushed that back and put that on hold. And I know I read an order this week regarding the Louisiana bar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, hot topic. With the bar exam. Just recently, just this past week, the Supreme Court issued an order allowing for what they deem qualified candidates to be admitted to the state bar without taking or passing the bar exam.
Now explain that for our non lawyer viewers. So you have to take an exam before you are admitted to practice.
In most states, you attend law school, and after your 3 years, or if you are part-time, be it 4 or 5 years, however the part-time program works, you have to sit for the bar exam to be admitted to practice. The bar exam, I would say, feels like a hazing process. For me in Louisiana, when the time I took it, it was 3 days and it was all writing all day for those 3 days. That's why I feel like it was a hazing process.
Right.
But for this year, it has been issued, the order has been issued to allow certain candidates, the mostly recent graduates, to be admitted to the bar without sitting for that hazing process that, we all know too well.
Right. So basically they don't have to sit and take a bar exam. If they meet certain requirements, then basically they get to go just hang their shingle out or do whatever, they're going to do as far as practicing law without having to pass an exam.
Well, they have a couple of additional requirements, even though they don't have to sit for the bar. They have to, provided they pass all the other requirements, which is your character and fitness, your multi-state professional responsibility exam. They would have to complete 25 hours of continuing legal education, as well as complete what's called a transition to practice mentoring program. All of those requirements would have to be completed by December 31st of 2021. So they have a good amount of time to complete that. Now, what gets tricky with the definition of a qualified candidate is you have to have graduated December 2019 and later. So that's kind of restricting those that would traditionally be sitting for the bar or being admitted. Hey, Nat.
Hey, Nat. That's another Southern University law grad and one of our classmates. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Nat, for joining us. You're next.
The additional requirements with that as well is you could not have previously sat for any bar exam in any state in 2020.
Okay.
So that's narrowing the pool even more.
Right.
And like I said, again, the multi-state professional responsibility exam. Now, when this order came out, there were 4 justices that dissented, that did not agree with this order. And they brought up a lot of issues because it's basically the emergency admission of what they call qualified candidates.
Right.
But as you well know, they have candidates that may have previously taken the bar and not passed.
Right.
So that excludes them from being able to be admitted this year without taking the bar.
Right.
Then there was questions about what is the emergency. We understand that we're in this pandemic,
right.
and it has affected a lot of lives. But what you do is you adapt and adapt to the situation and move forward.
Right.
It's my understanding that they may have created provisions to take the bar, following CDC guidelines, practicing your social distancing. But we still got this order. Now, for Louisiana in 2020, there will be no in-person exams. They did create a remote testing for, I think, in August and October to be able to take, but no in-person. And it's supposed to be for this year, but as we know, we are here practically in August dealing with the pandemic, and we don't know how it's going to be even for February of next year, because generally states have the bar exam in February and July. This year, though, that remote exam is going to be July and October, but it's kind of ruffled feathers, especially for those that have had to go through this process, and those that have been and can't pass or take the test with not go through the lack of taking the exam, like for the recent graduate.
For the recent one. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how all this pans out, and in the future. I know in Texas, where I am, they have moved the July bar exam dates to September for in-person, and then October for online. So we'll just have to see how all that pans out. So this is what I want to talk about. How has the pandemic affected the practice of law? I know that in Texas, there have been courts that have been closed. And as far as hearings are concerned, everything has been via Zoom. Is that the same thing that you guys are experiencing in Louisiana?
Well, yes and no. Since this started, we're going to go back to March. The governors have issued certain suspension of deadlines, which affected either your filing deadlines, your responding deadlines to different actions in your cases. And with that, the courts closed. They essentially closed for a few months. Well, in that transition back to starting your practice, getting back to practicing, courts have decided, some courts, because I've done both, some courts have said, hey, we'll have all our hearings via Zoom. Some courts give you the option. Do you want to appear in person, or do you want to have your hearing via Zoom? When you enter the courthouse, of course, you're going to have your temperature checked. The different divisions in the court that I pretty much practice in has certain guidelines where all the parties that would be on that docket are not going to be in the courtroom at the same time. They're going to limit who's going to be in the courtroom during the time of your argument. They have all your shielding. You still wear your face mask while you're arguing. Now, the disruption, or I guess trying to get used to the idea, is we like to talk. We like to talk and be in person when we talk. To really, really,
it's different. It's different. It's different trying to present your case or have a hearing online.
Yes, your evidence that you may have to submit.
Right.
The courts kind of get all that together, give you certain rules and guidelines that all of the evidence you have, you submit it early,
Right.
provide it to all the parties, get kind of your arguments out of the way with regards to anything that you're going to submit prior to the hearing. I've
Right.
had it both ways. I like to go to court. Some people are like, no, I'm fine. I
Right.
can do it via Zoom. It's still an adjustment for
It
me.
is.
Yes,
It is.
but
And well, I
we
mean,
are
I'm
doing both.
both. Yeah. And I'm going to
Yeah.
have to see how this pans out as far as that's concerned. There's been so many disruptions and changes in everybody's life, especially in the court system.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings me to my next topic. Now, I love Zoom too, Nat. I mean, it is convenient, especially in Houston, having to, drive back and forth to downtown and deal with parking and all that kind of good stuff. So,
Well,
yeah, I mean, it
and
has worked out.
also just wear your jacket. You don't have to worry about, hey, the
Yeah,
bottom half. You don't have to get fully dressed. I agree with Nat on that one.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So tell us, Kim, what you work for the city of New Orleans,
Yeah.
and what division are you in?
I work in the city attorney's office. I am the finance attorney for the city of New Orleans. I primarily tax law. I deal with sales tax enforcement as well as property tax in New Orleans for the city of New Orleans. So it's kind of my background. It's really weird how I got here, but when we were in law school, I clerked at the Department of Revenue. So I was introduced to tax law
Right.
in law school. And then when I moved back to Louisiana, this was an opportunity that I had presented to me, and like, hey, let me flex my tax law skills that they may think that I have at,
Right.
at the time.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
you're also licensed to practice in Georgia. You
I
were with
did.
the public defender's office there in Atlanta.
Georgia, after we graduated, left, I took the Louisiana bar, even though I had no plans at that time to be living in Louisiana, but because we went to law school and experienced this different world called Louisiana, I wasn't going to leave without taking the bar. But
Right.
my career actually started in Georgia, although I did a clerkship in Mississippi at the Supreme Court for a year, then moved to Georgia, and that's where my career really started. I will say public defender's office was the best training ground a person could have. Well, I could have.
Right.
Criminal law, that was always my thing, and always my interest when,
Right.
while in school and thereafter. So I would say my experience I worked at the Fulton County Public Defender's Office, miss it. I totally miss, I enjoyed my job, even
Right.
though public defenders might not get the greatest of respect, but I just attribute it to really liking your job.
Right.
I also did a couple of clerkships while in Georgia, and then I also had the opportunity to work at one of the oldest Black firms in Georgia, doing civil defense work. So I had an experience there. I did, I think, 3 stints at the public defender's office in between them letting me do a clerkship, leave and go do a clerkship,
Right.
come back, leave, experiencing that opportunity of working at a firm, and then come back. And then I finally left Louisiana altogether.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
this
not
is what I
Louisiana,
want to
excuse
talk
me,
about while we're
Georgia.
talking about Georgia, what's going on in
Mm-hmm.
Georgia with the current mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms,
Mm-hmm.
and the lawsuit that has been filed against her by Governor Kemp over her mask mandate, which I think is just totally insane. I think it's totally insane. And the timing of it is just even more crazy to me because the mask mandate was already in effect. And then when Trump went to visit and he did not have on a mask, then it became an issue afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think it's just kind of crazy about what she's having to deal with. I mean, I think she put out a statement that she felt like she was being targeted because she is African American and she is a female.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently there were other counties in Georgia that also had mask mandates, and the governor has taken no action against them.
And from my understanding, several of the counties have the same mask mandate as we do here as well. I think when it comes to politics, of course, politics is not my thing. But that just really seems more politics to me.
Right.
It's discouraging because we really, I mean, we're talking about lives here. We're talking
Right.
about a pandemic that we weren't ready for.
Right.
And it's still going on. These numbers are shifting. So I think, I mean, with regards to politics, it should be for the greater good
Right.
of the, for the citizens.
For the
It really
citizens,
should.
right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't leave politics out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
if there are certain things which, in my opinion, should have been in place when these states started reopening, and I'm in Texas, and we were one of the first states to reopen, and we did not have a mask mandate then. Now our numbers are shooting through the roof, and you still have individuals and groups that are still against wearing masks, which is totally insane to me. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And then we had a comment from the luncheon lawyer who said, not to mention several other mayors have mask mandates and they are not being sued. And that's my point exactly.
Yeah.
So is Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms being targeted again because she is an African-American female? It's just mind-boggling. Then we have a question from M. Hardy 1906 who wanted to know, was there a significant difference in the culture of how law is approached in Georgia versus Louisiana? Oh, absolutely.
Well, I will say this. The language is different, but the concept is the same. As you know, we learned it was the Napoleonic Code. Now, while we were in school, we didn't have the option to either decide to do civil law or common law, based on where you're going. To other schools in Louisiana had that option, but we didn't. So transitioning to Georgia, concept the same, language different. Yes, even taking the bar was different for me for Georgia. It was only 2 days. One day was multiple choice and one day was writing, versus that hazing process of writing all day for 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yes. So yes, that was a great question.
Those were good questions.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So this is what, all right. So this is what, hi, Leslie. That is my old gym partner. Hello, welcome. So now I want to touch on bankruptcy because we both practice bankruptcy law, but from the creditor side. And I know that given the economic state that we're all in, people losing their jobs, unemployment rates are going through the roof, that at some point bankruptcy filings are going to be on the rise as well. Unfortunately, they've already started in the business sector as far as retail stores. Gyms have been filing bankruptcy left and right. So I know that's going to be, the individual or consumer filings, either Chapter 7s or Chapter 13s are going to be, unfortunately, on the increase as well. So Kim, I know you deal with bankruptcy filings also. So I just kind of just want to touch on the basics of that. And, if anybody has any questions regarding bankruptcy filings, please feel free to shoot those questions off to us and we'll try to answer those as well.
Well, in my area, with regards to bankruptcy, like you said, we deal with it from the creditor's aspect. All bankruptcy filings that happen in the city of New Orleans, generally the city of New Orleans is going to be notified of that bankruptcy. And then it will shift from whatever department if there are any debts owed to the city that have not been paid. So once we find that out, or once I get that information, because it will go to that department based on the debtor listing the city as a creditor in their bankruptcy, be it 7 or 13. My world, it doesn't matter what chapter that they file. It's being able to protect the city's interest with whatever debts are owed to the city.
Right. And so, if you are contemplating filing for bankruptcy, which I hope none of us are, I hope that somehow, we're able to get through this pandemic without that having to happen. Just consult a lawyer in your state. and they will be happy to assist you. You know, it's there for your protection. I mean, I know a lot of people have been having trouble paying their mortgage. They have been having a lot of trouble paying their rent, you know, their credit card bills. So it is a mechanism, you know, to stop, or, you know, put a stop hold in your debts if you are just totally underwater. You know, and it's called a fresh start for a reason. So, you know, it's there for you all. You know, I hope you guys don't have to use it, but if you guys have any bankruptcy questions or eviction questions, come on in. I mean, I know that the government is working on a new stimulus package. So, but they're saying that's going to take, and you know, it may be a few more weeks before we are able to even see any type of benefit from that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of like, and you know, all of the law is intertwined into everything, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Politics, economics. You know, we have people that are still protesting out in Portland. And, you know, we have judges who have been ruling that, you know, these federal agents who, you know, have been ordered to go in there to basically halt these protests, you know, have to stop. You know, I forgot what day Portland was in a protesting, but, you know, it said that we had to go through not only the uncertainty that we've been dealing with in the pandemic, we've also had to deal with, you know, back-to-back killings of unarmed, innocent African-American individuals during the pandemic. So it's just, we've been hit, I want to say, by, you know, two double whammies.
Right.
And it's just, you know, I'm hoping that at some point something is done to put a stop hold, you know, in the killings, you know, that they do some, you know, find a vaccine or a way to control this, the coronavirus. But I know, you know, I have, you know, we have people that we know that we went to law school with, and just friends who have been trying to navigate their way through this whole legal system because of the pandemic.
Right. Well, and let me say this: you've been doing a great job with your presentation of all of those issues that have been coming up during this pandemic. So, I mean, kudos to you on getting out there and getting the messages out of what's going on with all of these issues. I mean, I think because we are at the house, we are quarantined, and we see it. It's really in our face. We see it on the news, a constant rotation of all of these different events, although it's not anything new.
No, it's been going on for
it's been going on. It's just that now, I mean, we're really, you know, in a state where we are stuck in the house and we have to watch the news, and it's in our face and it needs to be addressed. So you're doing a great job with that.
I talked to another one of our classmates. Well, he was actually a year behind us, Daryl Washington. I interviewed him yesterday, and his interview is going to be airing on Wednesday. And we were talking about the same thing. Everybody was forced to be in the house, and like you said, everything was in their face. And you know, social media, everybody was on social media.
Yes.
And you know, and I think that because of social media and because of, you know, everything being on video now, or, you know, certain incidents being caught, because there are probably hundreds that have never been caught on video that, you know, will never probably receive the media attention that the ones that, you know, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks have received because of modern technology.
Exactly.
You know, and, you know, probably thank God for it, the modern technology to catch this stuff on video. But like you said, it's made people more aware of what is going on, what we as African Americans have been So it's just, you know, it's time, and I keep saying this, and I'm going to. I'm sorry. Whoever's calling me, please stop. it's time to stop talking. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm so passionate about doing what I am doing now. About making these issues, bringing these issues to the forefront and talking about them. Yes, I am a lawyer, but I also want to talk about the law to make people understand how the law works in these types of
Right.
scenarios, so that they can maybe get a better understanding of what's going on. I think
Because
it's
it can be frustrating.
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be, and it's
Yeah.
like my purpose is to continue to shed light to bring about a change. I want change. I'm tired of people talking about what needs to be done. I want action. And I'm trying to do everything in my power, even if it's with this platform. I'm working on, trying to get involved with different youth initiatives or different, other organizations that are trying to bring about change as well.
Yes. Yes. Well, keep doing, and you're bringing a lot of people in with you that are gaining that passion. Although they probably had passion before, but really, you're bringing that passion out of individuals, um, to join the fight.
Thank
So
you.
keep
Yes,
doing it. Keep doing
like
it.
I'm saying, I mean, I think we all have a common cause at this point. I know for me, I just want to make this place a better place for, and a safer place for my African American children and just children in general. I mean, I think,
Absolutely.
what I have seen during this time, and especially during these protests, is we have had people of all ages, races, religions, you know, finally, I think George Floyd was, unfortunately the angel that had to bring this to light,
Right.
for them to, and for everybody to understand, like, this is not right. This has to stop.
Right.
It
Right.
has to stop. And,
Totally.
I was talking again to our classmate Daryl Washington yesterday, and in the millennials, the younger generation are going to be the change agents.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think it's, we're doing what we can, but ultimately the baton is going to get passed off to them.
Yes. Yes.
And they're
Definitely.
the ones that are actually going to, make this happen. I think
Mhm.
we can start the process, and hopefully, they will be able to, finish it off. You know, that's my hope, at least.
Yes.
So I want to thank you. Like I said, I've gone through a lot during this pandemic, all across the
Well,
board.
well, hey, I think
And it's
a
just,
lot of people have the pandemic has affected our mental health,
yeah, and
and
that's
it,
another important thing
yeah,
that I want to talk about, because
okay.
just real quick, I mean, my background before I went to law school, I was a social worker.
Hmm.
My undergrad degree is in psychology.
Hmm.
So I was working with, the mental health system even before I went to law school. I think that's what kind of catapulted me to go to law school.
Hmm.
Um, and so I know even now during the pandemic, anxiety is at a high, depression is also at a high. And, we're dealing with something that nobody could have ever prepared us for.
Right. Mental health, very important. Ironically enough, although my background was not in social work, I did for the ending last year for about 3 years work with an outpatient behavioral health agency. And I got to see how this mental health field world works, how it affects people, what's going on in people's lives, and trying to address it. Then fast forward to the pandemic, and when you're a person that is used to going, used to leaving the house, just for anything,
Right.
and not have to put on a mask. You feel like your freedom is restricted for whatever reason, but it can affect you mentally.
Right.
How to cope with that? I've actually attended some continuing legal education courses on coping with COVID um, during this time in the profession or just in life in general.
General.
There were several things that you could do. I am an advocate of physical activity. I'm in the park.
Absolutely.
I'm in the park by 6:30 in the morning.
And then we have another legal lady boss that just joined in, Dawn M. Florio, the pretty pit bull. She is a criminal defense entertainment celebrity attorney up in New York. Hello,
Hey, hey,
Dawn.
Dawn.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I'm a big,
Sisterhood.
yes, big advocate of physical activity, and it's therapeutic. Just to start my day,
Right,
that's what I do. I'm in the park, and depending on what my knees tell me I can do, then I'm going to either run or I'm going to walk, but I'm going to go.
right,
And it really helps. I had an issue, or I had a concern with having to work remotely. We're still working remotely. Sometimes you go
right,
in the office, sometimes not, but primarily I'm at home. I had a concern because I never worked from home before.
right.
And I did not expect or think I would be as productive as I am now. But it has taken a toll. But at the same time, you just find ways. We've had our Zoom happy hours. You know what I'm saying? We had, just that connection. Because when
Right.
you feel like you're stuck in the house, you don't think you can connect. You can still connect, even though you don't have that physical touch.
Physical,
You know,
right. That
you
socialization is
exactly.
like, I think that's what people are coping with. The social deprivation, you know,
Absolutely.
you
Hey,
can see people, but to touch people, I mean, we're
here
human
in
beings.
here in New Orleans, we are a hugging people. You are hug. I mean that you, and it's that's just in the culture here.
Right,
So you can't do that right now. Unless somebody you have been around or with or whatever. But you just can't do it.
right.
Um, I'm a big advocate on virtual gyms. So my home office at this point is not only the home office,
The
it's
whole
the
shit.
home gym.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
same
That's what,
location, same location, just move over a little bit, make a little space.
yeah.
Um, I have a coworker, uh, my partner in crime at work. Her father gets the Daily Word book every 3 months, and he makes sure to send me my daily word. Just that daily inspiration. It
Right,
it helps. It helps a lot, and people don't even realize it. Um, Music. I created a Zen playlist. Just having those ocean sounds, or just a coffee house jazz playlist, or I love Mickey Free, so I have Mickey Free on my playlist. But
yeah.
it actually that those type sounds, the walk, it's really therapeutic. I mean, that's what I suggest to people in
Right.
this time. It may feel weird listening to, if you're listening to some chanting or whatever, but it actually is therapeutic. I mean, it gets you through the day. It
Right.
does.
And I mean, we need all the just, things, calming elements, that will keep us sane, that will help us focus. I had been in the house with my kids because, their schools got shut down right after the pandemic. So
Mhm.
it has been a big adjustment for everybody,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
So I want to turn it to our viewers. Do you all have any legal questions for us that we can try to answer, or
I do want to.
free legal advice?
I do
Yes.
want to discuss though, Janine, with regards to partnerships
Oh yeah,
and
we did say we were going to talk about that.
connections,
Yes.
with your colleagues. I always yell out or repeat, while I'm at work, teamwork makes the dream work. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everybody says, and it is really true.
It is.
You got to understand that you alone you can't do it. You really can't. And if you
Right.
think you can, you're really not being honest with yourself. I am a big advocate of teamwork. You develop that relationship, you gain trust,
Right.
and you really kind of expose everybody's talents.
Right.
With regards to teamwork, I know what I'm good at, but I also am smart enough to know what I'm not good
Not
at.
good at.
And, I'm smart enough to partner with somebody that's good at it and
Right.
can bring it out of me, teach me. You have to kind of humble yourself to acknowledge you need help or you need people. I'm
Right.
not saying you just randomly go, meet people or I'm going to partner with you,
Right.
but it becomes actually family
It
in a
does.
way.
I mean, and
Partnerships
it's
become family.
beneficial, it just makes business sense as well
Makes business sense because everybody's bringing something to the
to the
table that
table.
that could enhance your business. And I think it's so important. I think partnerships is important. I think mentorship is important.
Right.
Um,
And
you
that's
know,
what I'm trying to be really, and not just now, probably for the past 10 years, if I have a young lawyer that calls me or that I see in court that, says, hey, can I call you? I'm like, yeah, because I didn't have that
right.
when I first went out into, after I graduated from law school and went into practice. I was with a big firm, I was with a medium-sized firm, and then I went in-house, to corporate counsel. I didn't have mentors. I didn't have people who looked like me, who
Hmm.
were willing to take me under their wing and basically show me the ropes. There
Hmm.
wasn't a class in law school that taught you how to navigate through, a law firm, or, through a Fortune 500 company. So I think it's so important that, especially now, that we give back or try, to bring those who are coming up,
Right.
who need guidance, because you do need guidance to navigate through
You,
this legal
you,
profession, and give back. So I'm really, really big on helping people, answering questions. If somebody asks me, hey, do you have, a template for a motion or whatever? I'm like, yeah, whatever you need, I'm here to help.
Relationships are important.
They're important.
I can say this. I've had the benefit of relationships. When I moved to Georgia, I had a great friend, Chris Leopold. We went to undergrad together. He went to law school. I think he graduated a year after me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, I have this friend. She's in town and she needs a job.
Right.
Those type of relationships you need. We
Those types
don't.
of relationships too.
Kim, hey, look, I'm going to put you in the door and it's incumbent upon you to seal the deal. But guess what? I'm giving you that or, making a way, paving a way for you to be able to do that. And you
Right.
should always be able to do that for the next person.
For the next person.
Your younger lawyers, I have what I call my Lisa in my office and backstory on Lisa, younger attorney, really. We
Right.
were at a work function and Lisa and Colt Jam was playing during the party, and she was like, "Who is that?" And it was like the record scratch. Like,
Right.
wait a minute, how do you not know Lisa? So I mean, that's my pet name for her. But we bring her into the fold, and hey, look, whatever you need, even though we may give her a hard time, it's that big sister,
Right.
or I call it or a auntie, relationship that we have. But it's
Right.
all important. I think, when we get interns in the office, I think it's important to keep in touch with the interns or provide them whatever information, whatever connection you have, even if you have a friend just working somewhere. Say, hey,
Right.
look, why don't you reach out to this person? They have their own
Exactly.
firm.
Networking.
Networking, but
It's
be,
so
be
important.
open, be open to that
Right.
and understand that we can all succeed and do this. You don't have to have that. I'm not going to help that person. We can all be number one. We
Right.
really can. I mean, my path is my path and your path is your path, but we can all work
We
together
can all
and,
work together. It's so
absolutely.
important. I mean, and the connections that I have made during this pandemic, they have been, priceless, um, all over the country. So, and now I can say I know some, a couple of people in New York or wherever, and, if
Right.
we ever have a case or whatever, I'm like, okay, now I know who I can refer it to,
Absolutely.
but, it's all about unity. Like I said, we're all in this legal profession, even though we're in separate fields of practice and some of us are in the same fields of practice, there's one common good. It's just to represent our clients,
Absolutely.
basically vigorously represent our clients, and try to give them the best outcome that we can.
Yes.
That's our job. And, you know, like I keep saying, at this point in life, if I can make a difference in one person's world or give back somehow and make a change, and when I leave this planet, then I feel like, you know, my job on this earth, you know, was done, basically, yes. As opposed yes. to my, you know, as far as raising my kids and whatever. But, you know, at this point in life, it's a whole different ballgame. Like, the practice of law has been good to me over the past 23 years, but I'm trying to focus on a different part of the law now.
Right.
A different aspect of it, you know, as far as teaching, talking about it. And that's what I want to use my platform for, not just to go out and make money, but I just want to bring attention to, like, social issues, legal issues, you know, just to make people more aware or just understand what's going on.
Yes.
All right, so because our time, I can't believe we've been on for 45 minutes.
Yes.
Any questions? Do we have any questions? We have Debt-Free Student is in the house.
Okay.
I Heart Dab. Hello,
that's my here. I Heart Dab is my
Haynes,
cousin.
hello. The Nestle Queen. Let's see, who do we have? Carter 1217, my cousin. Monica out of ATL. Amar Solo Realtor joined in. Gia Cox, my daughter. Yes. Thank
hey,
you.
Gia.
Hi. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? And I know another thing that's big that has been also important. Oh, thanks, Dawn. You know, you are amazing.
Right. Thank you.
Is entrepreneurship. You know, side gigs, multiple streams of income. That's my other thing. So I know you want to talk briefly about what you're involved in. I'm also here to help my brothers and sisters promote their businesses. Free advertising is what I call it.
Let me tell you, it's your home business. I call it your side, your home hustle. Shout out to Vanya Crouch, who's practically my sister, contacted me about this CBD. And we are going through the craze and the benefits of CBD. So I have joined partners with somebody I know, and we are, shout out to the Oxygen team, Oxygen Products CBD. So we will have another opportunity to have that discussion when I get that together, because I'm actually learning from you, Janine, with your marketing skills, with what you're trying to do, you know, with your, it's all legal too. So yes, Oxygen Products, shout out to Oxygen team, and Pinky V, there she is.
Hello.
Pinky V is my boss on the Oxygen side.
We have all kind of boss ladies on here.
Absolutely. She is the boss lady, and, you know, make sure I'm straight. I have several bosses, you know, that have joined in. Friends from home, my girl Tracy and I went to high school, basically grew up together. Junior high school. She's my boss too. Tracy was, she was the smart one. She was the one, you know, in all AP classes. I may have had a couple, but she was in all of them.
Yeah.
And definitely she's ruling the world in the technology game. And she's my boss that tells me what to do on several different fronts. But we have Nat. Nat is a boss within herself.
She is we're going to have Nat on next time. Absolutely. She is another lady lawyer, boss lady.
I will put a link soon with my CBD, with the Oxygen information for everybody, trying to get that up and running. So yes, side hustles are very important. Like
very important.
When I did the counseling gig,
how I became my cousin in the house.
How did I become a counselor? I don't know, but hey, it works.
It works.
My coworker, who's a detective, they owned a business. He and his sister owned a business. It's like basically my boss, Kim, you need to do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I find myself, you know, really enjoying it because you are helping people. That was my side gig. You're constantly some other stream of income. Be it owning your rental properties, your side hustle, your home-based business, or whatever it is. But it's very important,
It is.
because in my world, in the tax world, you have a lot of benefits with that side hustle besides, just the benefit of enjoying life.
Right.
Yes, you have a lot of tax benefits with that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, like you said, with everybody being shut in and, this has been a lot of time for people to kind of like just delve into their creative, get their creative juices flowing, and putting time and effort into maybe projects that they normally would not have been able to do
Mm-hmm.
because of all the distractions in the outside world. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
definitely, social media is a great marketing tool.
Yeah.
Um, like I say, it's free advertising, and partnerships and networking. So important. Like I said, and
Yeah.
like you said, I mean, we're all here to help each other. I'm all about empowering women, supporting our men, supporting everybody.
Right. Right.
Everybody can benefit from somebody. We don't
Absolutely.
live in a microcosm, and as much as we have certain individuals and groups trying to divide us, at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Yes. So
And
important.
so I
Can't
think
do it
there's
alone.
more good in this country and this world than bad.
Yes.
So Miss Kimberly K. Smith, my my ride or die law school friend, and
My girl.
keeper of many secrets.
We have been through so many things together. We know a lot of things about one another.
Oh
A
yes,
lot of good things.
a
There's
lot
a
of
lot of
good
good
things.
things.
Yeah,
And it's beautiful that the relationship, over the course of years, we've maintained that relationship, which I think is important as well, because I still have friendships from my childhood friends. I mean, you
exactly.
you can't do it without that. I mean, it is so important.
Important.
That sisterhood is important,
Sisterhood
and
is
I
so important,
I,
right? I
I, I
mean,
promote it all day long.
absolutely. I mean, I'm all about girl power, women power, and empowering women, because so many times we are the victims of discrimination, um sexual harassment in the workplace. I mean, inequality of pay. I mean, there's so many issues that we as women are just not being taken seriously.
Well, and with that as well, because we've had to experience a lot of that,
Right.
we don't understand, or we kind of forget our value,
Right.
even on our resumes, even because we're just going to work. Oh, I just did this today, or oh, I did this. We're really not, well, I can say for me, learning how to promote yourself. You're doing a good job of it. Learning how to promote yourself with any accomplishment.
Right.
Men can say, oh, I closed the door, and it can,
Exactly. And no
and it's
slight to
like
our
was
male
the
viewers, but
best.
that is the truth.
Exactly,
Women have to work 10 times harder
and
at the
yes.
same job to get the respect that men just get right off the bat.
Well, they can describe that closing the door like it was the best job ever. And we
Right.
need to learn how to do the same thing.
Exactly.
We need to glorify exactly what we do. And I learned that from actually paying to have my resume done. Filling out a questionnaire, and the person, the female that her company, she did it, and she sent me a questionnaire, and I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, I handled this case, and yeah, it was about this amount of money, settled it for this, but I just went to work.
Right.
And she's like, no, you didn't just go to work. I mean, that is an accomplishment, and you need to learn how to exploit your
Your
accomplishments.
accomplishments.
And we got
Absolutely.
to do a better job of it.
I agree.
Definitely.
And that's what I want to use my platform to as well, is I want to celebrate other people's accomplishments.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I just, my heart is so big. I want to try to help in so many ways. And, because of the pandemic, this has been the most efficient way to try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for Instagram. Thank God for Facebook.
Right. Right.
We're able to do that. And, it doesn't matter where you are in this country, in this world, we're able to connect. We're able to have conversations with each other. We're able to celebrate each other and promote each other.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I think that is a beautiful thing. So
yes, it is.
my dear friend, thank you so much for
Thank you
being
for
our
having
guest
me.
this Sunday.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is a great thing. Great thing.
And we will continue to do that.
Yes.
So nobody had any questions for us. Come on, y'all got 2 minutes. 2 minutes for any questions.
All
Love
right.
Sweetie. Okay, hold on. All right. So who else? Oh, we have Nola Farm MD that joined. I'm sorry, guys. My thing stopped scrolling. I see through two joined. All right. Everybody say tell their story. We did, ladies. We did. I just want to thank my It's All Legal 2 viewers for joining in with us today, and the viewers that Kim also had joined us today. Thank you so much. We're going to continue to have these conversations. I'm having my Sunday session every Sunday, 8 p.m. Different guests. So we will definitely have Ms. Kimberly K. Smith back on. Also going to be posting an interview probably on Wednesdays. I have one coming up. You don't want to miss it. Daryl K. Washington is a civil rights attorney in the Dallas, Texas area, one of our Southern University Law School classmates. He's been doing big things as well. Working on some very important cases in the civil rights area. So you don't want to miss that interview. Oh, no, Nola Farm AD said, I think my questions require a whole session. Well, just one. Just one. Thank you. Amor Solar Realtor say, good job, ladies. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Daniel Hardy, good stuff. Thank you. I hope you guys got something out of this. And please, be sure to follow my channel. Tell your friends to follow It's All Legal too. Nat, thank you. You're awesome.
We're waiting on you, Nat.
Let's see, Jana Janelle, awesome discussion. Thank you. Thank you all so much for coming in. Stay tuned. Like I said, it's all about, passing along information, social awareness, social change. So you guys have a wonderful evening and continue to stay safe out there.
Thanks, Janine.
You're welcome, and I will talk to you soon. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Aurora G, you're late, but bye. And you were calling me during my IG.
Oh, goodness.
I love you, though. She's one of the reasons Aurora Gordon, Aurora G is my sister 2.0. And I mean, she's been one of the, my biggest cheerleaders along with, my brother, Todd, so I want to thank you guys. And my sister, my family, thank you guys so much for all of your support and putting up with me through this pandemic, through my Zoom interviews and all my IG lives.
Right.
I appreciate it. Like I said, this has been, one of the things that I have been wanting to do for for quite some time. And now it just happened to be the right time. So
absolutely.
I gotta go because they're about to shut us off.
All right. Thanks.
You guys can catch this in my IG stories if you missed it. You tell your friends.
Right.
All right. You guys stay safe. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.